I got some really cool finds at a couple brand new permissions. Welcome to Finding America. It is really nice to see you here. Now, during last week's hunt, I was able to pick up some brand new permissions, and I decided I was going to start on one of them this past week. Now, it's a huge empty lot, and it goes all the way from the river all the way back to some old railroad tracks. Now, not too long ago, it had a trailer on it, but according to what I've been told, there was an old house that once stood there. Well, the finds started flying right off the bat, including some that I definitely wasn't expecting. It was a great 4-hour hunt, and I really hope you enjoy watching this one, because it definitely brought the kid out of me. Well, just so you know, I'm running field 2 with 5 tones, and I'm also running the small coil. Now, I left the small coil on from my previous hunt because these areas are really trashy normally. So I know there's going to be a lot of signals. It was already on my machine, so I'm going to leave it on there. And this is my first target. Gave me a 38, big signal. I dug down and I got this, which kind of has me puzzled. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's definitely old. It's definitely interesting, so I like it. That's a good sign. If this is in the ground only 6 inches down, I don't think it's been hunted much at all. Yeah, really glad I have the small coil on right now. Tons and tons of targets, so I'm just going to dig it all, and then eventually I'll put the bigger coils on to go deeper as I sort of weed the signals out. But I'll tell you what, if this is an indicator of how this is going to be going, I'm pretty excited. I got a 16 and I dug down and I saw the imprint and I'm like, oop, it's round. But look at this. Oh yeah, great seal button. That is awesome. That is really awesome. So, and I'd say that was 3 inches down. That's a heck of a good way to start it off. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm in heaven right now. It's 71 degrees for a high. We've got a really nice breeze. I have a new permission with long-term access to it, and it's full of cool targets. The last 3 signals were all within 3 feet of each other. I got a big 14-15 signal, and this is pretty cool. It's actually an old meat cleaver, and it's definitely been in the ground a long time. It's pretty thin now, but that's pretty cool. You can see where the handle was, a little hole right there to hang it on a hook, but pretty cool. Oh man, this place is amazing. It's just amazing. I'm just in a 5-yard squared section, and what would have been like the front yard of where the trailer was, and I got an 18, and look what I saw. I haven't even pulled it out yet. I can see a little bit there too, but it looks like an old toy airplane to me. I'll just grab the camera. Let's check it out. Oh, check that out, man. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, it's a fighter plane. Check it out. That's got to be an old Tootsie. And it is complete. A little bit of a, well, maybe that upswept wing is normal. Yeah, it's got the markings on the bottom here. Let's see. A little hard for me to do with one hand, but I'd say that's a Tootsie toy. And that is a beauty. Another cool signal here too. Give me a pretty good high tone, 28 to 32. And I dug down about 7-8 inches. Saw a glint of bright chrome. And look what I popped up. That's an old outside door handle. It's hard to say just how old that is, but I would put it in early 70s and back. So probably 60s. It's got the lock cylinder right there in the handle. Probably went on a van. So pretty cool piece, and I'm gonna keep on going here. Well, just hunting the area really close to the street because I had a permission about 4 houses down where an old house once stood, and there was a trailer there now, and we picked up some Civil War era Indians and shield nickels. So I'm trying to see what's up here by the road. Now, nothing as old as that, but it looks like I might have an old Monte Carlo NASCAR, which is almost as good, I tell you. Well, I'm down at the end of the property here with the railroad tracks up ahead of me, up above me I should say, and just kind of getting a feel for what's around here. Got a lipstick tube cap, didn't think it was worth filming, a couple bullet casings, and now I've got this D-ring for more than likely horse tack. That's pretty old, so that's a good sign. And anytime I'm near the railroad tracks, I'm always hoping for baggage tags and things like that, but we shall see. Well, I tell you, the toys are taking over. Got a 27 here, just a couple inches down. Now this is a wild ride. Some kind of a custom job there. That's one heck of a boat tail. I'll get it cleaned up, but that's definitely one I haven't found before. Well, I have another toy, but this one might be a really good one. About 9-10 inches down, slowly chipping away at it. I finally freed it, and let me take a look at it. Wow, that is a 69 or 70 Charger. Heck yeah, that's a pretty old one, I think. Almost looks like a red line car. I don't know. Wow. I think it's an Erdl, Dyersville, Iowa, USA, made in Singapore. Oh, I think it's a General Lee. It says, yeah, replica General Lee, Dukes of Hazzard, Warner Brothers. Oh man, that's cool as all get out. Very cool. Not much of the original paint left, but that's awesome, man. I will definitely take that. I'll tell you what, when I was a kid, oh, I watched the heck out of that show. Well, I finally got an old coin. Tons and tons of clad and pennies, and finally got a Wheatie. I was like so happy to see a Wheatie. I'm thinking there's gotta be old coins here. So this one looks like the ground is very kind to the pennies, so that's nice. And this one's gonna be a 56 with the Denver mint mark. Well, I tell you, it's a good thing I like digging toy cars because I'm getting a bunch of them now. It's giving me a 24 about 6 inches down, and this one's going to be an older one. It's actually an old police car. That's going to be 70s. Yep, pretty cool. It's got police on the trunk and everything. That's awesome. Yeah, it looks like it's 70s, so pretty neat piece. And hey, I'll dig these all day. I enjoy them. Well, I couldn't believe that I found that white police car sedan that sure looked a whole lot like Roscoe P. Coltrane's car right after I found that General Lee. And now it kind of gives me hope that maybe one day I'll find Boss Hogg's Cadillac out there too. That's kind of interesting. It's getting a 2930 signal, hoping for a quarter, but I got this. Now, I thought a gyroscope at first, but maybe it's some kind of a spinning top. I don't know, it's pretty darn cool. And it seems to be brass, possibly. Huh. Not quite sure on this one, but I would definitely say it's pretty old. Well, I'll tell you, no matter where I go on this property, I keep finding toys. And this is an old toy motorcycle. They are everywhere. And the next toy car, this is crazy. Ah, there we go. Yep, that is a 911 slant nose turbo. Or better known as a 930. Well, yeah, you guessed it. Another one. Oh, yeah. Bringing some memories back. Check out that 57. Little 57 Chevy right there. So, one more for the Finding America used car lot. Well, a few days later, I decided to try another one of those new permissions out. And this time, it's a small, modest house that was built in the 1930s. Now, I only had a few hours to hunt, but it turned out to be just enough time to find some very cool things. Well, I'm just working this little front yard of this house. It's probably built back in 1930 or 1940, right around there. And just going along the sidewalk here, this is my first target that I dug, and I can't complain. Got a 19. It was still in the hole about 4 or 5 inches down, and I got a ring. Look at that. That's probably just gonna be silver plated, but I'll definitely take that. Yeah, pretty old one too. That'll look pretty neat once it's cleaned up. Well, just got done digging a couple pull tabs, and I got another 17 signal, and I'm like, well, let's clear this one out. But not a pull tab, actually something pretty cool. Look at that. That is a very old button. It's a sew one, you see the 2-hole, but yeah, I'm gonna put that almost to the edge of the house, probably 30s, 40s, right in there. So very happy with that, and it's one like I've not found before. Well, I got a very cool find in this hole. It was giving me a 1920. It really wanted a high tone for me, but just wasn't quite there. And I dug down about 6 inches, plopped up the last handful of dirt on the drop cloth, and check it out. Yep, that's an old bike reflector, but a green one. And I think this is only the second green one I've ever dug. And it's in pretty darn good shape. Oh, how cool is that? So again, these are anywhere from the 40s to the 60s, but generally it's 40s, 50s. but just a great looking piece. I love these things. I got another quarter signal, 28 to 30, right in there. It turned out to be in the plug. Check it out. I know you guys know what that is. Model T valve stem retainer nut. Hey, that's awesome. Always happy to see another Model T part. Ford Model T sold like hotcakes in America. These versatile automobiles could be used for basic transportation or could be easily adapted to be used as trucks or even tractors. Now, those old Model Ts were also used as race cars by some, and in 1922, a Ford Model T was registered for the race at Pikes Peak Hill Climb, or as it was also known as a race to the clouds. This was a scary race, 12 miles straight up a dirt and gravel road with multiple hairpin curves, death-defying drop-offs, all the way to a finish line that was 14,000 feet in the sky. And it was at this race in 1922 that the Ford Model T would earn a nickname that would stick with it forever. Car companies and racers would come from far and wide with expensive and purpose-built race cars trying to claim this trophy. Now, this was not a race for the faint of heart, nor for those who lack deep pockets. Well, a man named Noel Bullock entered a ratty-looking Model T in that race in 1922. Old Liz, as he'd come to name her, wasn't much to look at. It had no paint job, no hood, and frankly, it looked like it was going to shake apart within the first mile of the race. People walked around it and snickered, calling it an old tin can on wheels. By the time the race started, everyone was calling Noel's car Tin Lizzie. But by the time the race ended, they were cheering and shouting the name Tin Lizzie, because Tin Lizzie beat every single expensive race car out there and won the race to the clouds. Well, the news spread like wildfire, and every single newspaper in the country sang the praises of Noel Bullock and his old Tin Lizzie. And that nickname, Tin Lizzie, would forevermore be used by every American whenever they referred to the Ford Model T. I got something pretty unusual in this hole. I was getting a 17. Seems to be the popular number in this yard. And it wasn't a pull tab this time, but when I pulled it out, I saw it like this, and I'm like, what is that? And I flip it over, and check this out. It says Fluger Free Speed. So I'm not sure exactly what that is. Some type of bicycle, maybe? I don't know. Piece of equipment, but I'll have to look that up. It looks like it's pretty old, but definitely got my interest piqued. Well, I'm just doing this side of this little front yard row by row, and started my new row around this stump here, and got a 13 dug down, and I saw a nickel, and I'm like, cool. But then I noticed it had a little bright edge to it, and I'm like, okay, that's really cool, because I have a silver war nickel. Can't tell the mint mark yet, but that's awesome. Love digging these. And this one, 43, I think. But I'll get that cleaned up later on. Well, this one was giving me an 18, and got a pretty nice early Colgate Ribbon dental cream, old toothpaste tube. Looks to be the travel size. Well, I think I got something pretty cool in this hole too. Pretty deep, about 9 inches. It was giving me a nice quarter signal, 28, 29, right in there. Finally got it out, and it might be, just might be, another really unusual, wow, compactor. But check this out. Look at the lid. Ah, that is pretty cool. I don't know if it was a pillbox or, but it doesn't. Wow, that is neat. I'll have to figure this one out, but I'm about to get rained on. Oh, shoot. All right, I'll come right back after I get this cleaned up. Well, I am definitely getting rained on. Hopefully it's just a little sprinkle and it'll move on its way. But this is some type of a little box. And look at this. It's got, I don't even know what you call it. This beautiful lid, but I think it might have had a floral pattern painted on it at one time. Isn't that something? Wow. You see the little catch right there? Very nice. Well, those were two very fun hunts, and to paraphrase the late great Art Linkletter, I think we can safely say that kids do indeed lose the darndest things. Well, who doesn't love cool cars, great service, and cheap gas? Don't miss what I have coming up in just a couple seconds. And remember, it's history that makes a find a treasure, and I can't wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.